Boom! Welcome to the Knowledge Drop. Today's guest is the one and only B-boy Crumbs.
Man.
How you doing, mister?
Doing great, man. We up in London, UK Championships, undisputed. Haven't been here in like 10 years, so just glad to be back. And it's cool that you're out here too. Get to judge and have a good time doing what we love to do. You know what it is.
Got a long day ahead, a lot of
yeah.
prelims, and once we get to the finals, it's going to be some heat. International
Solos
battles.
and crew battles.
gonna
Don't
be
forget about the crew battles.
That's what's up. Yeah, one of the only crew battles out there these days. You got,
know,
I think
sad,
freestyle
man.
sessions still make some, at least some years.
Yeah.
And then UK champs.
But
Battle
very,
DS
very
still does
limited.
it. Very limited. Yeah, most of it is only solos. So looking forward to today.
You know, it's kind of crazy how that reversed, because in the 90s it was all about the crew battles, and then it just went to solos, and that's crew.
And then going from battle of the year format, doing your show first, then heading to the battles, and then afterwards.
Lots of changes.
It all goes in circles. So maybe the next thing is doing a crew showcase.
Absolutely.
Again. Who knows?
It'll come back.
Yeah. Actually, talking about battle of the year 97 was one of the tapes that really influenced me as well. I saw it on Viva German music channel.
Oh shit.
After seeing B Street, Wild Star, Star Wars, that was like the first thing that we saw, and I was like, damn.
They played the whole battles on TV?
No, it was a recap in a rap show called Word Cup.
This is hip hop music. Word Cup.
Highlights?
Highlights,
Nice.
yeah. I caught it by accident. I was recording the show. I was already sleeping because I was young, of course. And then one day, I wake up the next day, check out my recording, and I'm like, damn. There's a b-boy looking guy. There's this blonde guy with superstars and an Adidas jacket, long hair, and it says Thomas as the name.
Yeah.
So he's speaking in German. I didn't know German at the time. So I'm like, okay, this looks familiar. Run DMC kind of look. And then it goes into the final battle. Freaking Southside Rockers against Style Elements.
Yes, sir.
First time I saw you guys, that blew my mind, man.
That's awesome.
Dope, respect.
Thank you, brother.
Any classic battles that you wanna highlight? Like, what are your most memorable battles that you've done?
Well, for both solo and crew, there's so many, man, so many good ones. But, you know, as far as for solo, the one that everybody always talks about is my battle versus Benji in France in 2002.
True that. You know what? I was there.
You were there?
I was there in the front seat.
Bro, so you felt it.
Yeah, I felt it.
Different times,
Believe it
right?
though,
Yeah, but if you
there,
were there,
you're getting goosebumps.
yeah,
talking about
goosebumps,
shit.
man. Imagine, you were there. That's crazy. So you felt
Front
it, man.
row, and I felt it.
Yeah,
One of the craziest battles I've ever
that
seen
probably
live,
for
man.
me was not just talking about our battle, but the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right. And Lords of the Floor 2 got the same kind of atmosphere. It was the same year.
Yeah,
2002. Lords of the Floor 2001 and 2002, the second one. And I battled Benji in 2002 also. So 2002 and Freestyle Session 2002, that's the other one I was going to mention, was one of the most memorable ones. It was all
Number
that.
5 freestyle session.
I think so. Maybe 7.
7
Yeah.
might be, yeah.
Yeah.
We came down in 2004. That was freestyle session 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple years before it. That
Right.
was crazy too.
But I'm just saying that year was like, as far as the atmosphere and crowds, it was at the height. The peak of just rawness and just everyone going crazy. Everybody seeing these new elements for the first time and really appreciating them. And, you know, crowds are still cool. Like, it's different now. You know what I'm saying? But you felt it. That's awesome. You were there. So
Yeah,
that was like, for everything from the battle to the atmosphere to, you know, being in France in his home in his country, you know, kind of like a Rocky situation.
Hell yeah.
You know, it was really, really dope. Yeah.
At
Classic
that
battle.
time, he was considered like one of the greats of that time in France. So it was dope to see that somebody from outside can come over there in the home city and make some make some noise.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was buzzsawing through everybody at that point. But I'm from an era before him. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe even 2 eras, because in breaking eras are like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And then everything changes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's funny how that even came about. Like I think I was in France doing some shows, and he told me we're in the hotel room, and he was like, you know, you're my favorite b-boy. You know, I wanna battle you. So for me, it was like a backhanded compliment. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, especially in the 90s or early 2000s, we took that, you know, serious. But I was like, okay, it's weird that he's asking me. I guess it's polite, you know what I'm saying? Because we usually just call somebody out.
Yeah.
So I was like, didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, whatever. And then I got a phone call like a week later from a promoter in France trying to set it up. And we did the business, the numbers worked, and I was like, all right, cool, fuck it, let's do it.
Oh, nice.
And that's how
I
it
didn't
all
know
came
the
together.
backstory.
Yeah.
Just saw the lineup and a couple of other people. In Finland, we had Lisa, Taya, and Ata. Everybody was like, nah, we gotta fly out for that. So we did the crew battle too. It was 5-on-5, but it was only 4 of us. We entered, but that battle was the highlight of the night for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the main event right there. It was wild.
Wow. Dope. 20 years later, jump forward, boom, still training, still battling.
Yes, sir.
How do you keep up with longevity? Any insights on how to stay consistent and how to stay in the game?
Man, just stay active.
Yeah.
Number one, and be honest with yourself. Right now I'm 43 years old. I still move like I'm in my 20s as far as speed and power, and none of that's left. Like I still have that because I'm one of those guys that never stopped. I didn't take a year break, only injuries, to heal. But that's it. Like when you stop for 5 years, 10 years, and then try to get back into it, it's a different ball game, man. So I stay consistent, but you do have to change the way you train. Like in your 20s, you can train 6 to even sometimes 10 hours a day, splitting the training up 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Eating, resting in between sessions. And now, obviously, you cut that down a lot, do less braking and more like swimming, riding the bike, cardio stuff that's not going to wreck your body, because braking is so hard on the body, your ligaments and joints. I look at it like your vehicle, like your car, you know what I'm saying? All these ligaments are like brake pads and they're gonna wear down, you know what I mean? Like I have some body parts that there's no more ligaments there, you know what I'm saying? Or they're just worn out, you know what I'm saying? So what saves me is doing stuff like yoga, the extra stuff that we didn't do in our youth, stretching, the tedious work like TRX band work, weight training, but not heavy. There's a science to it, like keeping your body right and not destroying it and keeping it strong so that you can prevent injuries. And so that's what I do. Just less braking, more other things that I didn't do before, and just training smarter and not harder, right? Maybe some of the blow-ups from the past, you kind of leave in the past. Could I still do them? Maybe. If you know how it is, if you don't use it, you lose it. You got to train to get it back. But what's the cost in that? Like, am I going to get injured and like be out for a year because I wanted this one blow up? So it's just the mental thing, right?
Being smart and diversifying your training.
And then as you get older,
have to do it.
Exactly. As you get older, the experience kicks in and the ideas never stop. So, I get better in so many other areas that I wasn't good in when I was younger.
True.
Right? It makes you think differently. So I was just lucky and blessed to have a creative mind to adapt, evolve, and create my own path and continue it.
So dope, yeah. And like you said, some of the aspects simply get better. Some of the physicality might go out, but at the same
Depends
time,
how you look at it too, you know what I'm saying?
But the experience, the flavor, the expression, all of that stuff simply just keeps getting better with time.
Absolutely.
Dope.
And there's no rule book, there's no handbook to teach us how to adapt and evolve, right? It's all trial and error. So that's what it is. I just try a lot of different things and I figure out what works for me. Everybody's different, right? We're all different body types, different mentalities. So what works for me may not work for you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never know.
Yeah, you gotta stay curious. You can't be stubborn, you gotta stay curious, try out new things and take what works.
That's right.
Yes, sir. How's it going as far as business and work, and what all kind of stuff do you do back home?
Yeah, pretty good. Just growing, man. Growing and evolving. I have a lot to catch up on in that area, the business area, because I neglected it for pretty much my whole career. Because, we just like, when you're younger and when I came up in my eras, we're just thinking about being the best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Just one track mind, just breaking. While you're neglecting your brand, your business, all of that stuff, right? So I I barely started focusing on that stuff maybe at 35, right? So I missed out on all that time. So right now I'm playing major catch up, but it's going pretty good. I see like how my breaking got better, the business is getting better, obviously, and right now I'm in a pretty, I'm happy with where I'm at, you know, with my school, Six Step Academy.
Yep.
Students are growing. Building the online presence as well with the online courses and all of that stuff, and just trying to get all that going simultaneously while still breaking myself,
Yeah.
and still doing what I do in the physical realm of traveling and judging, competing when I want to still, and all of that, because I still love doing all that stuff too. But I'm at a point where I can like, I have to be mindful of what I choose to do, you know what I'm saying, and not try to overdo my physical self as well. Just be, you know, mindful of all that as well. But the business, yeah, it's coming along pretty good.
That's a hard balance to keep. Like
It
the
is.
business can really take over your life, and same does training. How do you keep that balance?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
constant balancing act.
usually when people start doing their business stuff, the other side
Yeah,
kind of like dwindles down, and then it's pretty much gone almost, right? I don't want that to happen. I want to stay relevant as long as I can for me, you know, because I just want to do this forever, man. Like, you know.
That's why it's important to get the right kind of team to support you, so you don't have to do everything yourself, but you have people supporting you and helping you out. You don't take all the
Yeah.
workload because
Yeah.
it can be a lot.
And that's tough because you know as well as I do, there's not much money in our field in the underground world, you know what I'm saying? So to build that team, you know, you got to pay people, you got to be a business about it. And if you don't have like the sponsors and the people that back you, giving you the funds, then it makes it like really hard, but still doable. You can make it happen.
Yeah.
Just got to think creatively and outside the box and believe in what you do.
Hell yeah. What's coming up? Let's say a year, 2 years from now, where do we see Crumbs?
I think you see me judging a lot. I think you'll see me teaching a lot, possibly coaching, you know, for maybe an Olympic team or something like that. Because I see with the Olympics this year is obviously solo, but then I also see the crew thing happening maybe in 28 in LA. You know what I'm saying? Is for me, I think that is going to be like way better than the solos, you know? So I think we'll eventually get to that. So there's so many avenues and opportunities out there, and I'm open to them all. And I always prepare myself for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm already thinking ahead. I don't know what exactly is gonna happen, but I'm ready for whatever and multiple things at once. So yeah, teaching, I love teaching. You know, I've been teaching for over 20 years. Every time I travel, setting up workshops, you know how it is. And then finally with my own school, a home base, which I never had. I would always teach in LA at other people's studios. And I was like, you know, it got to a point where it's like, dude, I need my own.
For sure.
Yeah. So doing that, building that, I want to open up a chain around the US as well. Hopefully before the Olympics in 24, I'll have 2 locations in the States, and just keep building on that, man. Because, you know, building the future generations, that's where it's at, man. For, you know, for our careers, we're very selfish, you know, like when we're younger, wanting to be the best and everything. And I've been in this 30 years now, so long journey. And I would say about halfway through that is when I started teaching and started to give back and be selfless, right? And start teaching the youth and everything. And they carry on the tradition and your personal tradition too, like with your own people, your own crew, what you guys brought to the art, so it doesn't get lost, right? We see it in videos, but there's no real education behind it, right? So we need to be out there educating them.
Dope. Hope to see one of your students battle in Los Angeles 24,
Yeah,
who
me
knows?
too, man.
And if the crew battles would take place, that would be crazy. Breaking coming back to the US with a bang and
that'd be
bring it back
amazing.
home. So that would be amazing, man.
Oh yeah.
Keep doing your thing, man. Thank you for the
Yes, sir.
time. and
Appreciate
keep
you,
inspiring.
Focus.
Keep up with the grind. There's
Yes,
a lot
sir.
to do. So
My man.
Don't give up. All right.
Got
Have a
you,
good
brother.
time today, y'all. Peace, peace,
Peace.
peace.